the revolution. Tu le floriras dans une Élysée, âme méprisée, tu rayonneras. Yes, background, still, to some previous episodes that they say. I was talking about the fact that I was a student, the background, the fact that it was hell. I mean, they, as George Orwell explains in Animal Farm in 1985, they tell you everything's splendid, all animals are equal, but then some animals are more equal than others, and so on. And that's as a corrupt system as one can imagine. And for examples from today, of course, you can look at North Korea and China. China brought some prosperity in people, kudos for that. That's good that they did that. Only the part that can be appreciated to some extent, because even that is not functioning really well in China. But that part was brought in by capitalism, the elements of capitalism that they allowed in. Deng Xiaoping, who was a more enlightened leader, now they're going backwards, like in Russia. They have a tyrant who will discard the rule which had them for 2 terms or something, with the previous president, and wants to be president for life, aka she bullying others and so on. South China Sea to Taiwan, which they want to invade, calling it taking it back. Democracy crushed in Hong Kong, and the Uyghurs, the camps, pushing all from Vietnam to the Philippines, from islands and places they claim as their own, which are not the Chinese. And of course, the decades ago with Tibet, they crushed the people there. So that's communism for you. Here we had also an excessive regime. In Hungary, it was like a free country, a liberated place. We went on a trip to Hungary when I was, I can't remember, 14 or so, and it was another world. People, in fact, would risk death to try and cross the Danube illegally. It was illegal in the communist regime, into Yugoslavia. So Tito's Yugoslavia was, in fact, even further down the road, or much closer to the west than this place. And people with, I was thinking, people forget. There's this nostalgia, this regret that some have for the communist regime. Much of it because they were younger, so young days. If this is a story of the past, what happened, what led to communism, the misery. But along with the misery, the episodes that represented the young life, the sex life, the education, reading Tolstoy, Chekhov, in the kitchen. Because I was saying, like many others, we were crammed. We were 4 people, my sister and I and our parents, in 2 rooms. We each had to share 1 room, just 2 rooms, not 2 bedrooms. Bedrooms are also everything else, study, dining room, living room, and so on. And because of that, once I got the urge to read, when I was 16, I would go into the balcony, because there were also, you had to, from one room, you had to go to the other. So, nete comandate, as they would say in real estate. And balcony, I would jump into the kitchen, and then I would light a candle, not for the atmosphere, not to be more romantic, I guess, but because of the circumstances. Plus, they would cut the electricity off quite often. And I would start reading Crime and Punishment, Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, as I said, Chekhov, Seneca, not Bellow. Oops. And that's also because my father, he wouldn't really, he was a nice man. Died when I was 19 or 20. And he had a cirrhosis of the liver. Without drinking, he was in fact a talk tower. What he drank was milk, which was strange because that was a disease associated with alcoholism here, with people who drink a lot. Okay, they drink a lot, they get cirrhosis. Well, he got it without drinking anything, no drop of alcohol. That's strange. Anyway, so he was kind, and he wouldn't forbid it, but he would say, "Oh, you don't have to tire yourself. You have to sleep. You need sleep," which is true. So it's time to get to sleep. Cut off the light, and so I would evade that by reading in the kitchen, and that was one element which was good in a way. But that's no reason to be nostalgic about it. I mean, people get killed. It's hunger, it's cold, it's no freedom. But you read, and then what? You glorify the regime for that? No, there was an element in total darkness. You have a candle in a big city. So. But the fact that you were forced to, you had on television. The last years you had 2 hours of television, only with Ceausescu, with propaganda. Ceausescu went and saw this wonderful crop. He went into these factories and he learned that the plan is going not just according to what they put on paper, but it's much better. Record production, when in fact, I mentioned in the previous episode, they would just destroy the crop. To report it was finished, it was harvested, they would just sacrifice it in many instances. And it was going nowhere. It was in ruins, it was a collapse. So, with the jokes, how many people work in this factory on a visit from a foreign dignitary? The answer is, well, I guess about half, or reference to quotes or jokes. Jerome K. Jerome has said, "I love work. I can watch people work for hours." So maybe some more jokes for next time, next episode.